Hello grade 6, how are you today? Welcome to this learning opportunity. I am teacher Nancy, your facilitator for today's English lesson. I hope you will enjoy and learn much from this video. In today's lesson, you are going to work on your 5th module for quarter 3. Here, you are expected to be able to evaluate narratives based on how the author developed the element, which is determining the theme. We'll also be reading short stories where you can learn some moral lessons. But before we proceed to our new lesson, we need to answer first some questions in What I Know. I hope you are ready.
Here's the instruction. Get ready with your paper and pencil. Listen very well to each story and determine the theme. Select the letter of the best answer and write it on your paper. Here are the options. Let us read them. A. There is strength in unity. B. It is better to be called a fool quietly than to open your mouth and confirm suspicions. C. Try and try until you succeed. D. Those who do the least work complain the most. E. Don't be greedy. Our first story for today is The Monkey and the Cookies. The Monkey and the Cookies. A monkey put his hand into a jar of cookies. He grabs as many as he could possibly hold, but when he tried to pull out his hand, he was prevented from doing so by the neck of the cookie jar. Unwilling to lose the cookies and yet unable to withdraw his hand, he burst into tears and bitterly lamented his disappointment. Select your answer. Our second story for today is The Crow and the Pitcher. A crow perishing with thirst saw a pitcher and hoping to find water, flew to it with delight. When he reached it, he discovered to his grief that it contained so little water that he could not possibly get at it. He tried everything he could think of to reach the water, but all his efforts were in vain. At last, he collected as many stones as he could carry and dropped them one by one with his beak into the pitcher until he brought the water within his reach and thus saved his life. Choose your answer. Number 3 story is The Mule in the Lion's Skin. A mule once found a lion's skin which the hunters had left out in the sun to dry. He put it on and went towards his native village. All fled at his approach, both men and animals, and he was a proud mule that day. In his delight, he lifted up his voice and spoke. Then everyone knew him, and his owner came up and gave him a sound cudgeling for the fright he had caused. And shortly afterwards, a fox came up to him and said, "Ah, I knew you by your voice." Choose your answer. Number 4 story is The Oxen and the Axle Trees. A heavy wagon was being dragged along a country lane by a team of oxen. The axle trees groaned and creaked terribly, whereupon the oxen, turning round, thus addressed the wheels. "Hello there, why do you make so much noise? We bear all the labor, and we, not you, ought to cry out." Choose your answer. Number 5 story is The Bundle of Sticks. An old man on the point of death summoned his sons around him to give them some parting advice. He ordered them to bring in a bundle of sticks and said to his eldest son, "Break it." The son strained and strained, but with all his efforts was unable to break the sticks. The other sons also tried, but none of them was successful. "Untie the bundle," said the father, "and each of you take a stick." When they had done so, he called out to them, "Now break," and each stick was easily broken. "You see my meaning," said their father. The theme of the story is
Do you want to know how many items you were able to answer? Let's find out.
Put a check mark if your answer is correct and an X if it is wrong. Number 1, F. Number 2, C. Number 3, B. Number 4, D. And number 5 is A.
Now, count your scores. How many check marks did you get? Congratulations for those who got high scores. For those who got low, don't worry because I am here to guide you in your lesson today. Now that we're done answering the questions, let's proceed to the next part of our module, which is what's in. When you were in grade 5, you had your lesson on giving the main idea. Let's see first how well you remember them.
Here are 2 selections that you are going to read, then give the main idea. Write the letter of the correct answer on your paper. I will give you 1 minute to do this. Start now. Here are the options. Number 2, here are the options. Okay, let's check your answers. Number 1, dog is man's best friend. In the case of the Filipino farmer, however, his best friend is the carabao. The farmer is helpless without this useful animal. Although machines are used now in some big farms, the tenant farmer still has to depend on the carabao to plow his field. The main idea is, A. The importance of Carabao. B. Man's best friend. C. The Carabao plows the field. And D. The farmer and the Carabao. The answer is letter B. Number 2. Books are treasure houses of wisdom and pleasure. He who likes to read will never feel bored or restless because he will always have good company. The main idea of the story is A. Books are important. B. Books are only for those who like to read. C. Books can bring wisdom and pleasure. D. Good company with books. The answer is letter C. Very good.
Very good. At least you did not forget what you have learned in the past. Being able to identify the main idea of a selection or text helps you understand the lesson to be discussed in your module. Have you experienced following somebody who dropped something without noticing it? What did you do? In our story for today, find out who the child is and what she did with what she has found. Find out also what value can we learn from the story. Be able to answer the questions that follow. Here's the story entitled 100 Peso Bill. Please read with me.
100 Peso Bill. As Rosa walked down from the sidewalk to school, she noticed that Ryan dropped a 100 peso bill without noticing it. As he continued walking to school, Rosa bent down and picked up the bill. She imagined all the things that she might spend on it and how fun it would be to go on a shopping trip with her friends. Then, she thought about Ryan and how he would feel when he found the money missing. Sighing, Rosa hurried to catch up Ryan and to give him his money back. Let's now answer the following questions. What did Rosa pick up? Rosa picked up a 100 peso bill. Very good. Number 2, what did she imagine to do with the money? She imagined all the things that she might spend on it and how fun it would be to go on a shopping trip with her friends. Correct. Why did she change her mind? She thought about Ryan and how he would feel when he found the money missing. 4. What is the main or central idea of the story? Yes, don't let money get the best of you. Very good.
Every story has a central idea or theme. The theme is the message that a reader takes away from a story or text. It is what the writer is trying to say about life. It may be stated directly or indirectly. You must first read the story and understand the elements like the characters and the plot before you can locate the theme. In the story that you have just read, the theme is don't let money get the best of you. It was shown when Rosa was not tempted to keep the money. Instead, she returned it to the owner. If you were Rosa, would you have done the same thing? Yes, you should be because that is the right thing to do.
There are 4 steps to identify a theme. Number 1, understand the main character. List the physical and non-physical attributes of the main character. Decide whether the main character is someone you want to be or don't want to be. Number 2, identify the conflict. The conflict always involves the main character. Figure out who or what was the main character is struggling against in the story. Number 3, know how the conflict is resolved. The resolution of the conflict can give the reader a big clue as to the theme of a story. Who wins the conflict is the writer's way of telling you which force is better. If an evil main character wins, the theme will have a negative view. Number 4, make a generalization. Look at the main character, his conflict, and how it was resolved to determine the theme of the story. Start by understanding what the main character learned in the story. Then, generalize that lesson to apply to everyone.
With the different exercises that you have done, I hope you were able to understand what we call theme. Let's now sum up what we have learned today by completing the thought of the given sentences with the appropriate words.
Choose your answer from the box. Write your answer on your paper. Okay, start. Number 1. Choose your answer from the box. Write your answer on your paper. Okay, start. Number 1. Choose your answer from the box. Write your answer on your paper. Okay, start. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. Time's up. Let's check your answers. Number 1. The central idea of a story is called theme. Number 2. The theme is the blank that the reader takes away from a story. Answer is message. Number 3. The theme may be stated directly or answer indirectly. 4. Understanding the main blank is one of the steps in identifying a theme. What's your answer? Character. Making a blank is the last step in identifying a theme. Answer is generalization. Very good.
Let's see if you can do the next activity. Classify the topics if they show patience, courage, or kindness.
Write your answer on your paper. Here are the topics. 1. Slow and steady wins the race. 2. Treat your parents with respect. 3. Size does not matter when demonstrating strength. 4. Face your fears and you can defeat them. 5. Little friends may become great friends. And number 6. Never give up. Persistence pays off. We have 3 themes here: patience, courage, and kindness or friendship. Let's do number 1 as an example. Number 1 is slow and steady wins the race. Which theme is appropriate for this? Yes, patience. Slow and steady wins the race. Alright, do numbers 2 to 6. Time's up. Let's check your answers. So where do we put number 2? Okay, kindness and friendship. Number 3. Size does not matter when demonstrating strength is courage. Next, face your fears and you can defeat them still or under courage. Little friends may become great friends is under kindness. And never give up, persistence pays off is under patience. Very good. For our last activity, read each story silently and determine the theme. Choose your answer from the options given. Write the letter of the correct answer on your paper. Here are the options. A. Don't be greedy. B. Popularity can be a bad thing. C. Do not attempt the impossible. D. Appreciate what you have. And E. Think through the risk before following your instincts. Number 1. The dogs and the hides. Here are the options. Number 2. The monkey and the snake. Options. Number 3. The flies and the honey pot. Options. Number 4. The goose with the golden eggs. Options. Number 5. The fir tree and the bramble. options. Alright, let's check your answers. Number 1. What is the theme of the story The Dogs and the Hides? C. Number 2. What is the theme of the story The Monkey and the Snake? E. Number 3. What is the theme of the story The Flies and the Honey Pot? A. 4. What is the theme of the story The Goose with the Golden Eggs? D. And number 5. What is the theme of the story The Fir Tree and the Bramble? Letter B. Very good.
You have done a very good performance today. Congratulations and keep up. So, that is all for today, grade 6. See you again in our next lesson. Bye!